We're going to get started here in just one moment, but if you would be so kind as to confirm if you could hear my voice as well as see my screen, and then we can get started. Thank you. All right, we're getting confirmations from the regulars. Hello to Dean, Rick, Will, Clark Cotton. Welcome everybody once again. This is a VooPlayer question and answers session, which is a weekly Tuesday webinar in which we aim to answer any questions that you as users may have, provide training on any advanced use cases of video in your business, as well as to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, and through that process, ultimately collect, organize, and prioritize any ideas, suggestions, feedbacks, critiques, or recommendations for improvements in order to keep improving VooPlayer. So as mentioned, this is a weekly webinar. So if you are unable to attend any of these sessions, the replays are available both on our YouTube channel, link to which I just posted in the chat box, as well as on our Facebook group, link to which is also in the chat box of the webinar. So if you're unable to attend any of these calls, be sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel and join that Facebook group, because the weekly replays are available there as well, and also to stay updated with all of other VooPlayer content which is distributed through those channels. So the format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. So at any time that you have a question, or if you came prepared with any questions, you can just paste them in the chat box, which you see over here on your screen, and then we'll just start answering those questions in the order that they come in. So one more note, if you are unable for whatever reason to attend the webinar but would like to share your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions, feature requests, and so on how you can improve VooPlayer. Inside of the VooPlayer application, whenever you're logged in, you can just click on Documentation and Support and click on Submit and Vote on Ideas, which will take you to our product board where you can see sorry, actually, I'm not in the application. I'm in my local host, which is not working. Let me just log into the actual application really quickly. If I can get the LastPass extension, there we go. All right, so there we go. So on the bottom left over here, you have the icon for documentation and support, and from there you can click on submit and vote on ideas. So that's going to take you to our product board where you can see everything that we are working on, everything that we are considering working on. So all of the ideas, integration requests, marketing features, and so on, which have been suggested via your VooPlayer user colleagues. And ultimately, as I said, you can click on submit an idea and indicate what's important to you and how important it is to you. So that helps us get it in front of the rest of VooPlayer users and thus get momentum and set priorities accordingly for road mapping those enhancements. Also, you can see what's been recently launched. So this is one place where you can find out what's new about VooPlayer and what's going on. You may also come to blog.vooplayer.com where our release notes are posted. So that's another place where you can get informed with a bit more detail. Additionally, you could also, so if you're new to VooPlayer, we always recommend you visit docs.vooplayer.com. So let me just share that resource as well. So this is a great resource where everything that has to do with VooPlayer, either directly with the application or the player or the modules or the features or the data or the analytics or the walkthroughs on getting started, is available. So this is a great resource for anybody who's getting started with VooPlayer to review. So with that in mind, I think I've covered all of the housekeeping notes, so we can start getting to some questions which I see are popping in the chat box. So let me just um, move over the chat so we can have it on the screen for reference. So we had a question from Rick. Is there any way to make hybrid data secure against download like WooPlayer local data source? No, there's not. So the what really sets WooPlayer apart from any other video platform is the ability to provide external hosted content, such as videos from YouTube or videos from Facebook or videos from Dropbox or OneDrive or any resource. So if, for example, I don't want to do YouTube because YouTube is going to be too obvious. But for example, I think I have, I know a location of an external video, maybe slash Burberry Show. So here is an externally hosted video file. So this is a file which is just sitting somewhere on a server, and the same would apply if you have it hosted on any of your storage platforms such as Amazon or Google Cloud or anywhere where you're able to provide a direct link to. And there is a great article, just a small tangent, hybrid hosting, which I would like to share with you guys. So if you're not familiar with hybrid hosting yet, there's a great list of providers as well as sort of the limitations and the benefits of this approach. So if you think WooPlayer can only play videos which you uploaded to it, you're sorely mistaken. There's a lot more that enables you to develop much more interesting workflows, and in some cases, a lot of cost-saving techniques which can be used with these hybrid hosted videos. So back to the question: if you have an externally hosted file which you want to include in WooPlayer, we can't necessarily do anything with that file. And when I say anything, I really mean anything. So the biggest restriction with regards to the external hosted file, of course, is that it is external, which means that we don't know what sits on this link. We don't know how it's going to resolve. So more or less, it's at your responsibility to provide a valid link and keep it validated. So you can provide a link which is going to redirect to the video, and then you can switch it to redirect to another video and what have you. And the links, as you probably know, because you folks usually have more of a technical background, you know that links can behave in many different ways and they can do many different things, and they can be dynamic or they can be static. So we are not able to manipulate those links in any way, which means when we are feeding this link to the WooPlayer video player, we are just serving it with that base link as you have provided it, which means that we're not able to alter it or modify it in any additional way, which in turn means that when that video is played through WooPlayer, that link which you provided is going to be visible. Even if we were able to do something on our end with regard to sort of masking that URL, it would still point to the same resource. So if somebody got the masked URL, which is being fed to the video player, they would result with the same thing. So even if we mask this with some obfuscated value, that value would still resolve to the video, meaning that somebody with the masked value would still have access to the video. Even if we were able to hide the link entirely, somehow anybody with any technical know-how would be able to monitor their traffic. So let me just turn on my network. This is my network tab in Chrome developer tools. So as I'm playing this video, if I could just continue watching the the network tab, I can easily see everything that's going on through my network. Why am I not seeing the video? One of these is the video, and I think it might be this one. No, no. These are the fonts. Let me just double check what's the URL of that video. So we have that video as main.woolplayer.com/Burberry Show network main, and there we have it, but I'm not seeing the URL for it for some reason. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Regardless, not sure why I'm not seeing the URL, but to answer the original question, if you're providing an external URL, there's nothing we can do to help you hide it in any way. So if you're using a URL, an externally hosted URL, to hybrid host videos and load them inside of WooPlayer, it's your responsibility how those URLs are going to resolve. As far as that goes, as far as protecting the content of that URL, i.e. the video content. Now, as far as the player itself goes, there is, as you know, a lot of restrictions which you can imply from whitelisting domains where they can be played, from password protecting it, and so on, that are available in WooPlayer, which I can gladly talk about. However, once somebody either plays it from an unallowed domain, or once somebody plays it from by knowing the password, they're able to download it because it's the stream is in their network. And the difference with that is, of course, that WooPlayer encrypted videos are only playable inside of WooPlayer. So even if somebody's able to get those WooPlayer hosted videos downloaded, get their link, anything, they're still can decrypt it, because the only place where they can be played and decrypted is inside of WooPlayer. So hopefully that answers the question with regards to sort of the privacy and protection of the hybrid hosted content. Let's see, what else do we have? Skip through a few things. The industry is shying away from CTAs that are intrusive. However, mild mid-roll appears to be going well. Can you describe mid-roll capability in today's CTAs you support? Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've had this question on the last webinar, if not, I'm not mistaken. So any VAST and vPlay ads are available. VAST, Google Ads examples, for example. IMEA sample tags. Have an ad blocker enabled, so that's not going to work, obviously. Let me just disable that quickly. Don't run on this site. Exclude completely. All right, so let's see what we want. We want a single inline, linear, skippable, pre-roll and bumper. Pre-roll, single ad, mid-roll, standard pod with 3 ads. We don't want that. That's but basically, you can get any of these. So depending on how the ad feed is constructed, in any way we support it. So you could really do anything. So if I grab this and add the VAST feed here, I don't know if it's going to accept this URL, or let me just test it out. Just see if that's going to work. Publish. I don't know what they consider to be inline. Plugin blocked. Flash was blocked on this page. So it looks like these ads that Google is providing are using Flash. So I might need Flash enabled in my browser. But to answer the question, so anything that's specified in the feed itself, how the ad plays, when it plays, is it skippable or not, does it have interactive elements, all of that is supported inside of WooPlayer. So whatever your ad server provides, as long as it's and specifies, as long as it's standardized in Avast or a vPlay format, those ads are available in VooPlayer. So that's one way of doing it. If you're able to provide an actual ad server that's going to be interacting with VooPlayer. Alternatively, if not, you could always do something like including an overlay, which would serve as a mid-roll point. So if you wanted to, you could. I mean, this is going to go. I don't necessarily have time to construct this example, but I'll just explain it in theory. So if you wanted to, you can come over here and create a interaction and you can come to interaction and CTAs, come to overlays and annotations. You can come to custom HTML, and then you can create a full screen custom template. So just for the sake of the argument, I'll have this div and I'll have it style is gonna equal. I don't have an equal button on my keyboard, but for example, I was gonna color it, but it doesn't matter. So I can just say hello world, and I think you can see over here on the top left corner it says hello world. But basically you can insert a video inside of the custom HTML overlay, which you can set to start at whatever mid-roll point in the video, say at 30 seconds, for example, and then you can have it, you can even, so one of the cool things about VooPlayer is that you can include custom codes in here which dictate, so you can say, hey, a video is going to stop, and then when this video is playing and that finishes. So I mean, in theory, there's a lot of things which you can do with VooPlayer. It's best to sort of specify a particular use case, knowing if you're going to have a static video or you're going to serve them through an ad server or whatever, and then best proceed with that. Rick is saying, how can I integrate with OTT Android boxes? Do remind me, what is OTT? One time something. OTT services are sort of payable videos, if I'm not mistaken. OTT, over-the-top media services. So over-the-top media services is a streaming media service. All right, so how can I integrate with OTT Android boxes? Any ideas on how to burn VooPlayer onto an Android streaming box as a dedicated player? No, there is no way in which VooPlayer is supported over any set-top box TV integrations such as Roku or Android TV or Apple TV or anything like that. VooPlayer is a strictly web-based player, so it works in web browsers, but not on other platforms or even in mobile applications which are running natively Android or Apple code. If there could be exceptions where the mobile application is using HTML as its base, and then a VooPlayer would be supported. So maybe, Rick, in answer to your question, if you are able to develop apps on an Android platform for that box, then you might be able to, from scratch, develop a an app which serves VooPlayer via HTML. That could be doable. That would really depend on the platform itself. Clark Cotton is saying, is blockchain for business with multi-participants in a channel with many networks on the panel for VooPlayer to be in network of networks within a Hyperledger Fabric or something similar to a business use case for blockchain? To be honest, I have zero understanding of what was said in that message, Clark. We have very little familiarity with blockchain or currently interest in integrating with it in any way. I know that there are great security and encryption benefits to that, and I haven't seen anybody integrating sort of video hosting and video streaming with a blockchain platform. Thus far, so at this point, there are no use cases which I am aware of. In a white label, can we create a new policies for in app API or feed? On request, yes. There's no means by which you can do that yourself. However, if you are a enterprise white label holder, we are more than willing to meet you halfway in implementing any custom policies with regards to the API. Do the trust components become compromised in any way with the asset between participants perfected inside WooPlayer? Do the trust components become compromised in any way? Is trust with the asset between participants perfected inside of WooPlayer? What are trust components? I'm not necessarily sure what the trust components are referring to within the WooPlayer system. Lee is saying sorting videos by folder view is very slow. In my case, it's taking 4 to 5 minutes to sort into 10 folders. Can this be made faster? Great question. I'm not aware of any issues which are happening with that. This will be actually, I'll note this as a feedback for myself to actually investigate, definitely, but this sounds like an issue which should be raised with support@woolplayer.com as a bug, even if it's taken that long. I don't have in my application, at least. I don't think I have. I don't think I even have any groups implemented where I would be able to. Yeah, I do have a group called demos. So here, if instead of the list view, I come into the group view, for me it's more or less instant loading that those 3 videos. But I imagine that if you have a lot of videos, it might be different, because then the method is not just give me all of the videos, but then it's give me video by group, and that's probably something that could be improved by a faster loading process. So thanks, Lee, for bringing that to our attention. Something definitely that we'll investigate soon. How about inserting a coming up details of the next video right into the loading bar just when the current playing video is about to end, kind of like a post roll? What is your take? Credit to Facebook. Well, currently we don't have the ability to, maybe in a playlist. So that could be very interesting. So I was going to say we don't currently have capability inside of WooPlayer where you could build a sequence of automatically playing videos, but I forgot about a playlist. So inside of a playlist, yeah, that could be an interesting feature. I'll definitely note that as an enhancement for when we revisit playlists again. It's definitely, I think, a conversion/engagement enhancer for somebody to see what's an upcoming video in the timeline. There's nothing not to like about it. It's just something that we haven't integrated yet. All right, thanks again to Clark. Okay, I have 311 videos. That might explain. I don't necessarily want to log into your account live on the webinar, but we'll definitely take a look at that. Yes, with playlists. Thanks. All right, great. Cool. Until another question comes back, I just want to scroll back to what we were talking about originally about sort of mid-rolls. I might be able to cook up an example of that if there are no further questions. I don't know. It might take me like 5 minutes or so. All right, I'll keep this on my left-hand side. So since there are no further questions at this time, at least, I'll do a very this is going to be rough, and I'm going to try and make it as fast as I can. But I want to see if I can code up a mid-roll video. So for the lack of a better example, I'll actually use the same video as a mid-roll inside of this video. So let's see, how would we want to do this? So the first thing that we will want to do, of course, is ensure that so we want to ensure that the video pauses when this overlay comes in. So we'll just have hello world come here, and we'll set this, for example, at second 5, just to make my 5 key is not working. There we go. Here on the numerical key, it works. So we just want to pause this video when it hits this point. So for example, I would need something like, let me just close all of that. So I would need how do we do this? We could do this something like this. So jQuery pause video element. So let's see what we have here. We don't want to have a click there. We just want it pause. So document ready, this pause display, not necessarily like that. Just need to find something that's WooPlayer relevant to our use case. Movie played, that might be oversimplified. I think I was just looking at that. I'm gonna just try and find something a little bit better. Pause videos in document object model. I think I can make this one work. I don't know if I would venture to do this right now, but I know that it's possible. Why not? All right, let's try and make this happen. So I'll just add a bit of script here. So we'll make a new script. Script. All right, so we'll have a document whenever it's ready. It's not gonna be this, the WooPlayer, and we actually don't want it to be clicked at all. Well, we want, so this example is gonna be really weird. So maybe we could do something like, let's delete all of this because we're not gonna need it. Let me just double test. So I'll just, instead of playing this video, I just want to have it removed. So I'm not even gonna do this. I'm just gonna call the video element directly, because ideally you're only gonna have and we're just gonna do video remove. In theory, this should just delete the video whenever this happens. So let me just double check this. What we have here, la 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 la. I think this might actually, well, actually, hold on. We don't want to do this. We could just straight up do this. Maybe even simplify this even further. Let's see if this is gonna do anything. So I'll just save this. I'll just watch it just to see what we've done thus far, and just to make sure that I have interaction with the video elements. So at about second 5, nope, it doesn't look like we actually managed to do anything there. And again, this, as I mentioned, would require a little bit of digging on how this is best accomplished. But and I don't necessarily have time, so I maybe overstepped my capabilities in investigating what would be the best way to accomplish this. But I can cook up a demo for the next webinar on how to accomplish this when I have a little bit more time and not doing it live. Let's address some more comments. There's nothing like VooPlayer. You always need Enterprise VooPlayer to go OTT with any other platform. Excellent, thank you. What are the VooPlayer hosting limitations on number of hits, queries per second? As for responsiveness when loading videos, none, unlimited. So basically no limits at all. You can have millions of consequent, sorry, not consequent. What's the word that I'm looking for? It's escaping me right now. You can have millions of users coming at the same time. So yeah, let's set up questions a week in advance. Yeah, an email would work. support@VooPlayer.com. You know where to find us always if any of your questions remained unanswered. We're out of time, so I want to thank everybody who took time to join this week. Apologies for stumbling a little bit with this attempt of a demo at the end a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I'll cook up a working solution for that next week so that we can review maybe an advanced use case which would cover some of your uses of VooPlayer and custom HTML overlays in the future. So hopefully we'll see you there next week when we continue making VooPlayer better. And as I mentioned to Clark, any questions that you may have in the meantime, or any other suggestions, or if you would like to have any topics covered in the webinar, we're always available at support@VooPlayer.com, and we hope to hear from you there as well. All right, excellent. Thank you once more, and have a great week. Bye.